Right, I want to say welcome quickly. Okay, this is a quick video. I'm just walking down this road here. I want to say it's a really, it's a strange, annoying, kind of irritating thing. I don't know, not irritating to that extent, but like kind of, I don't know what to say. Can't really say it bothers me. I mean, I don't have an ego. I'm not a kind of person who's got an ego, who likes to like, just, show off or anything, or what's the word, and think I'm above anybody or that I know, anything like that. I'm never looking at myself like I'm above anyone or I know something amazing or I kick ass. I'm a tough guy. Far from it. Okay. I'm not a person like a fighter or anything like that. I'm not a big, tough sort of guy, you know what I mean, either physically or mentally. Depending on how you look at it. But the point is, the crazy thing is, the insane thing is, when you're walking around amongst people who are, generations and descendants, generations down from you know what I'm saying, like the past generations, and you got the modern, newer generations, coming from certain places, with ancient history and culture. You know what I'm saying? Ancient history and culture, it blows my mind because, you know what I'm saying? It blows my mind to think, because it's what people don't know. And it's like if you want people to know or recognise you or notice you for something, or know you or be known for something, I don't know, is it like it's an ego in that, you know what I mean? I don't personally myself. I don't really give a damn. I'm not trying to be known or noticed for, and stand out in the world and leave my mark, as they say, or make changes and whatever. I'm not in people's face, not at all. I'm a quiet person. I'm a person in the flow of the way of the nature and truth of nature, right? But it's like, what we're saying is like, how can I put this? It's like, I haven't got that gold. I haven't got that thing. I have not got any gold. I'm literally just, and life is like, what I'm saying. If you've got a goal, if you want to be somewhere, if you want to do something, or make a change, it means you're not happy now. You've got nothing now. You've got no ground to stand on. Basically, I'm not saying you shouldn't want to do anything or create, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, you understand your reasoning, your reasons and your reasoning, thinking and how you're thinking, how you question, how you answer a question, or how you communicate with yourself before you communicate with anybody else, how you communicate with yourself before you communicate with anybody else. And that's what I'm saying, that's a crazy, mad thing, That's the instant. We're going to go down this path again, down here again. Like before, when I come down here before, I'm thinking today we go that way. We go this way today. See if we can go on the other side. Come on, we can. Last time I went on that side. This time I'm going to go on this side. But what I'm saying is, it's like when you're walking around and you know that you know something, that everybody's got something to share, everybody's got something they can share, or maybe help or benefit the world, give something, to better, to just show a better example. Like we should be learning in life. We should learn about life and how it's not death. We should be learning about, what we can be doing or should be doing, and what we, don't have to be doing. It's destructive and stuff like that. So you're learning a positive message from the good and the bad, the path you've walked, or the things you've encountered, good and bad. In fact, I'm worried there's going to be people walking their dogs along here, so kind of scared of dogs. So it's funny what I'm about to say. Oh, there's someone walking a dog along here. I'm not going to go that way. There's somebody walking a dog along there. I'm going to go this way. So go this way. There's people walking their dogs all over the place. There's people walking dogs, but I'm going to go down there because I haven't been down there before. What I'm going to say is, the crazy thing is, I'm not trying to be a bitch. Hold on. What I'm trying to say is, my point here is, when I'm out and about, walking in the land, or seen in the land, when I'm seen and walking around in the land, it's so you don't understand. This is the crazy thing. I'm walking amongst people, living amongst people who are far from, in many ways, far from some of the deepest, most powerful, profound parts of their, certain areas of their cultural areas of history that have were not only so significant to them in the past, we're talking in the masses, and even so much so that even inspired in a lot of cases the world, right? The most profound knowledge and wisdom, mental and physical strength and health I'm talking about as well. That's what I'm coming from the root of, the true essence of. And we're living in times now all over the world where it's dying. It's not even known, We're experienced by people that are because of ignorance, If you go down there, if I was to go down there, as I say, you could have gone the other way down there, as I say. But I'm not going down there this time, okay? Let's go back to what I was saying though. So what am I talking about? You get to the point, I'm rambling now and I'm kind of chatting, scrabble babble talking, bullshit, rambling. But what I'm trying to say is, as we walk along here, I'm seen as, a Western man. Because I'm Western, I'm not really from the Oriental East, Asia, Oriental countries, okay? I'm not Chinese, even though I speak it all the time, even though I've spent half my life, almost, because I left my own country, to live in China, and my wife's Chinese, and we speak Chinese at home all the time and everything like that. But it's nothing to do with that. I'm not talking about that. It's just the point is, I'm literally living root truth, I would say, in terms of the way of life that you live. And I'm a human being on the planet too. You could call it more like a descendant. I'm part of that tree, that path of, we could say, lineage. Not of like a family name, or anything like that. Not like, like that kind of lineage. Apart from, we are human, of the human race. Whether we came from apes or not, I don't know. But I'm just saying, I'm not saying I'm part of anything per se, any organisation. I'm just saying, I have to say this clearly, these two words, kung fu, right? Kung fu. I'm saying kung fu, right? Kung fu, kung fu, wushu, right? Martial arts. We're doing right, martial arts. And the Tao. The Tao, you know what I'm saying? Tao. Right? The Tao is philosophy, which is ultimately, basically, just spoken out all way, right? So basically, there's no way, it's no path, there's no human philosophy. I don't follow any culture. I'm literally following this. If I say this word, if I say Tao, where you say, oh, okay, Lao Tzu, right, Tao Te Ching, you think I'm talking some shit. I'm saying I follow true nature. That's what Lao Tzu was saying. I'm following real, true nature, the real truth and only the truth. I don't follow societies, cultural stuff. So what this ancient Chinese philosopher, this old, people know the name Lao Tzu, okay? In the West, it's sometimes a lot of times mispronounced or misspelled, like Lao Tzu, who wrote the Tao Te Ching. It's actually the Tao Te Ching. As I say, I do speak Mandarin Chinese, I'm just saying. All the time. I'm just saying, 24 hours, but I'm saying, right? Yeah, but this ancient philosopher was so wise. So wise. I don't know anyone who's more wise than him. I'm not saying there couldn't be anyone, but he was the wisest man I've ever known. Anyone else that I agree with or like what they've said to such a profound extent and been motivated by and understanding are usually people, that's how, I think better go the other way, we go back the other way. They're usually people that are, people who are saying the same saying the same sort of things as him, or remind me of him, or people that have agreed with him or studied him. There's a lot of people I like Krishnamurti, Wayne Dyer, you've got that Osho guy as well, but you've got Alan Watts, obviously, Sadhguru, people like that. A lot of wise people, like Sadhguru is still alive, as far as I know, but it's like, when you talk about Lao Tzu, man, he really understood. It's not Confucius, okay, I'm not Kongzi, I don't mean Kongzi, no. Kongzi was like the complete opposite, okay, it's Confucius. In English it's spelled Confucius, right? Kongzi, Confucius. He was different, he was talking about society and following a systematic way like we're living in now, and control and all of that stuff. I'm not saying no wisdom ever come out from his mouth. I mean, there's maniacs and psychos in the world who have probably had some level of intelligence, somewhere in them. Not to say bad, negative people haven't done any good, or positive people haven't done any bad things. We're not saying that. But I'm saying when it comes to this philosophy that this Lao Tzu was talking about, which is the principle of the idea of Tao, as in it's not being a slave to confuse us, like confusing human ideas which are not even natural, just like following from our confused ways and habits, of the world, and following people and greed and all that stuff, imbalance basically. No, the Tao is basically Tao means following true nature, absolute true truth, without any indoctrines, without any kind of push in either direction. It's just like complete purity, honestly, peace. What better to study? If you want to be peaceful, you want to study the most peaceful thing of all, because peace is the most powerful thing. Imagine a life where you're just totally in control, you're not even wasting any energy. Well, you want to come from that essence, right? You want to come from that truth. There's got to be peace before, there's got to be clarity before there can be anything. You see? Heard or seen as well. So, fresh piece of paper, clean paper every day for a new day start. Peace and quiet, so you can hear what's being said, basically, by this reality around us. We're talking about actual reality, not just a reality of how we're living in today's culture, society. No, planet Earth, in the universe, your human state, your body and mind, and then respecting people naturally. The same as trees grow just as they grow, and it is what it is. It ain't what it ain't. It is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about this thing called yin and yang, which is two sides to everything, and that's what the Tao is. That's what it basically means, balancing and working and understanding it, or going in the flow of what works, knowing that you're not separate from the Tao. The Tao is reality, and that's what Kung Fu is all about, or Kung Fu. They used to say that Tai Chi was apparently classed as the grand ultimate fist back in the day. The basic way of life. It's not just about fighting, It was one of the most powerful ways of fighting in self-defense too, as well as self-preservation in health. But it's not just an old person's exercise. I'm saying? No. Martial arts is for everybody. It's a lifelong journey of maintenance. There must be maintenance for there to be development. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. And there must be maintenance for there to be development. And you must develop to a certain state before then you can maintain from there. That's what we talk about with the Tao, which is yin and yang. That's what Lao Tzu is saying. That's what the real deal truth. Not just someone's ideas about how we should be living and how much money you've earned or what success or failure you think you've got from people in society and manufacture bullshit brainwashing ideas. Who's got this nice car today, or who's had an argument with someone yesterday. It's all a waste of time. Because we've all got one life to live and we're living right now in the moment. We've got to make the most of it. Light shines away and shows everything. It gets rid of the darkness. You can see clearly and understand things better while you've got this time in your life. Because life is just that, health and time, power, manifestation. Must be flow before there can be, stillness. A bit be like existence, I should say. And there must be existence before there is flow. See that? So that there. The language of anything that exists, the language of any truth that can be, is the Tao. Yin and yang is everything. The Tao. If there's no Tao, you've got nothing. You've just got death and non-existence. So when I'm speaking to you, I'm not just giving you some nonsense words from my mouth because I've been reading a few ancient books on philosophy and for the sake of it, because it sounds good. I'm not doing that. I'm speaking from the ultimate realization, understanding truth on that. I've spent years studying this stuff. And the martial arts, the true martial arts, I'm not just saying fighting, sport, combat in a ring and all that, or just violence for the sake. No, organised violence, you know, with strategic strikes and defences. That's not just it. I'm saying true martial arts, you know, true kung fu training is, but like I'm saying, it's just a practice of the Tao, but it's the true essence of the self. Preservation, respect yourself, respect life, respect everything and everyone that exists. Preserve life. So I'm saying with martial arts, I've studied since I was 12. In this video, I'm nearly 41, and I live it as a way of life. I'm not the toughest person or anything like that. I've had to defend myself a little bit a couple of times. Luckily, it's not been anything too serious. I've been through a lot of shit, and I've avoided a lot of crap, and it's mostly been mine. Martial arts teaches you to be smart. See? So it's like that, you know, when you can see, you don't need to look, you know. So if you've got life in you, you don't need to be striving to live. You know what I'm saying? That's the message of the Tao. So there's no message. It's just truth and power itself. The truth and power itself. There is no weakness. Weakness is death. Your body is always overcoming. It's trying to heal itself. When you get hurt or injured or sick or whatever, the body's always talking about trying to fix things up. You know, how do you know you're out of balance? When you're losing your balance, you know, right? You're trying to get your balance back already. So life's all about balance. A question. See, the fact that there's always imbalance is reminding us to always be balanced, you know. So, and what I'm saying is with me walking around, like with me living on the earth, it's a funny thing, like living where I've lived and stuff in certain places. It's a crazy thing to see people that are so brainwashed and they know of like certain, like their culture, ancient history and stuff. They know. They don't know like what it really is, and they've never walked that path, and they couldn't imagine someone like me has. And when I'm saying someone like me who has and literally lived it and walked it, you know, I'm not saying you have to be a monk in a temple, you know, or Shaolin or whatever. I'm not saying you've got to be a literal monk or someone smashing concrete over their head and body and doing all crazy kind of stunts. I'm not doing that either, or knowing every type of fancy technique out there and doing backflips and that. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying I've learned an amount of stuff from the depth, and of the years constantly training day in, day out, physically and mentally, to preserve life. I believe I am truly living in that way, in that essence, you know, in the meaning which was realized to then, you know, push Lao Tzu to come out with those words that he thought and then wrote down, which is nature itself. That I would train, and you know, I'm not looking for fights or anything like that. I'm not trying to advertise myself like I'm tough or anything like that. But I know what I know, and I've trained all the damn time. And it's a crazy, insane thing to see and think that I'm walking in the lands and stuff where nobody knows about that, and nobody does that, you know. Nobody knows that, nobody does that, nobody trains like that, you know what I mean? We've not been through that. It's a crazy, really insane thing. You look at me and it's like, I mean, they're looking at me and it's like, you know what I'm saying? You can't see. We'll go this way. Looking at my face, I look like some, you know, just some Western guy, some Westerner who doesn't have a clue what I'm going on about. I'm coming from the true way. Oh, I say goodbye to someone. I'm going from the true way. I'm going from the true way. The true way of nature. The true way of the power and the true way of the discipline. I am, literally, without boasting and going on about anything, manifestation, kind of descendant, I would say, not biologically, but I'm a descendant, more so, of ancient masters of ancient ways, you know, masters of martial arts and wisdom. Okay. Masters of it, you know. You know what I'm saying? Hold on a second. You know what I'm saying? Hold on a second. Masters of ancient martial arts and ancient wisdom. You know what I'm saying? Masters of ancient martial arts and ancient wisdom. I'm not part of a society or some kind of culture, whatever, modern, you know, whether you call it what? Eastern, Western, or anything. I don't follow any of that politics or any of that bullshit. Or some, you know, systematic stuff, money and all that, and materialistic things, and systematic hierarchy bullshit. You know, not at all. You know, just give me 1 second. Things coming on the screen. But yeah, ignore that text on the screen that just come up there. But yeah, basically, I'm literally one of those. And it's such a sad thing to be, you know, going through my life and like not being able to share and not being able to. It's not for not only myself personally, but like being selfless about it in that way. I'm full of self, but it's like in the word and the spirit of the true way and the true essence of true martial arts and this wisdom. I feel so sad and let out there because it needs to be spread and let out and let known. Because many people just mock it and don't understand what it is and know it at all. And I love to share and teach, that's all I'm saying.